What's up, everybody? We're going to get right on into it today. Markets are moving around. It was a very Merry Christmas. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful time wherever you're at, friends or family. But with that, let's go ahead and dive right on into it today because we got some stuff we got to look at. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Let's show some love to what's going on here because the markets are providing us opportunity, damn it. So let's go ahead and take advantage of it. Let me go ahead and get this retweeted over on BitLab Academy, and then we are going to go live here momentarily. Is everybody ready? How you doing? What you thinking? What you feeling? I want to see a roll call right now. I want to see every single one of you drop something in the live chat, and let's talk about these markets because it is time. Let's go. Good morning. Oh, muted. Am I muted? No, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. We got to talk about it. Happy Merry Christmas. Hope you had a good time with your friends, with your family, even if you're by yourself, reflecting some positivity, some gratitude, looking at what happened over the weekend. I hope many of you, if you're a BitLab member, if you're in the Discord, if you're in the Signals Lab, just want to really highlight this. If we come over here, right here on this on your membership page or community post, you will see I did post a TA session this morning, basically that turbo TA kind of breaking things down. So let me know if you watched it, if you are tuned in. Make sure you have your notifications on right here. It says all. You should have been notified what happened there. But when we see this, we got the Santa rally, we got the pump. And then what happened? We got the dump. This turned into being a Bart Simpson pattern. Push up, Bart's hair, drop right back down, clearing, basically trying to flush out all of this inefficiency of markets just rallying to the upside. But I want you to notice something. This looks currently still very healthy. The price pushed up and came right back down to this level, which we have. Let's go out to the 4 hour. We can see we have this rejection, big deviation here, but support here, support right in here, support right with all these wicks right here, support, chop right in the zone. Look, broke out. Now we're finding support on it. If we're able to hold this, then the likelihood that this is going to go up is higher. Remember, there's nothing out of context here. Price has essentially been traveling sideways with the deviation up and currently a bit of a deviation down, which is just within this box that we've had outlined for some time now. So this is kind of the line in the sand for us in this immediate near term, because what did the thumbnail say for today's show? 85K or 114K? Now, why 85K? Because that would mean the price would come down, flush out these order blocks down in here, basically be testing, look at this, testing the low side of this range. Now, the question is, if we get here, is this going to be a bear trap washout, boom, then launch? Or are we going to lose this level and really get that sort of correction that some would argue that the market needs, which would be bringing us down here about 28% drop from this high that we saw, about $108,400, 108.2 or whatever. This would not, for those of you that are new, this would not be out of context. We saw it 11 times in the 2017 run-up. Right here, I don't have them marked out on this, but we can actually come right here. We saw a huge number. Where's it at? I only marked out some of these, but there's a huge number of drawbacks from these large push-ups, drawback, large push-up, drawback, large push-up, drawback, 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 all the way from the $200 all the way up to $20,000. We saw it, a number of times here. And look at this right here, just January 21, right after Christmas. Boom, here's Christmas, pump up. 30% sell-off. Is that what's in store for us? We need to keep our wits about us because it is a very real possibility with where we're at right now. Also considering, if we come back to this chart, considering we got a bit of a kind of a shoulder here, kind of a big head, kind of a shoulder here. If this comes down and loses this, then the target on this, just note here, the target on this would basically put us, actually, let me see, from the top to the neckline, which would be roughly about right there. The target on this which would basically put us right down into this zone anyway. So we need to be aware of that. I am super bullish for quarter one, super bullish for quarter one. That does not negate that we cannot have a bullish washout to the downside. We want to see the markets build that stairway to heaven. Cade, how you doing from the Wolf 3? How you doing? Big love to you. So let's go ahead and talk about everything going on, because everybody's losing their minds when we get a little bit of a pullback. You're excited with the small, very small percentage run up, and then you get a small pullback that's actually bouncing on support and it's over. Look at this. We're still at 3.31 trillion market cap. Bitcoin's still sitting just under that 2 trillion mark. Ethereum about 400 billion, XRP 124, so on and so forth. The market is still super bullish. Everything we're seeing right now is setting up for the most incredible future we could ever imagine. Just the question right now is, can you hang on? Let me actually switch my screen share because I'm not at home. Turn that one off, turn on work screen share. There we go. Looks a lot better there. Not a lot cleaner. So when we're looking at everything that's going on, I mean, look at this. Really, when you zoom out 7 days, that's just sideways. That's just sideways. That's just sideways, sideways, sideways. There's no real action that's happening other than trapping people long, washing them out, trapping people short, washing them out, so on and so forth. The question is, are you here to donate your capital to somebody that has stronger hands? That's not why I'm here. But then we look to what's coming January 20th. The U.S. Congress is expected to prioritize crypto legislation in 2025, focusing on key issues like stablecoins and the FIT21 Act. I do think, and this is going to, remember, this isn't just January 20th. This is leading up to that. We'll likely have volatility around that inaugural date, but then there's going to be another 60 to 120 days after that for some of those balls to get rolling, for some of these things to get fleshed out. As bullish as we are on the excitement about what may happen, remember, it's still all speculation until these things play out. We are set up for a possible, very clear path and road ahead for bullishness, but that does not discount the fact that there's incredible reason for people to get overhyped and have liquidity opportunities in the market for washouts that could come. So do note that. We got 404 people in the house right now, just kicking off a little early today. Hope you all again had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Christmas. Remember, we got New Year's coming up, and note that we're talking about holidays. There's a lot of people that are not fully engaged in the markets right now, especially bigger players, institutional players, corporate players. In addition to that, we're coming into the end of the year, the end of the fiscal year up to December 31st, where there's probably not only a lack of liquidity in the market because people aren't sitting at their desks trading, people are traveling, they're with family, but then in addition to that, we have the tax harvesting that likely, that it could be a big impact on what's happening right now with not making major financial moves until that January 1 date and beyond. So between now and January 20th, there's a lot of potential, but also a lot of sort of suppressive speculation about what may or may not happen in the interim. So let's do note that. And by the way, if this is your first time here, I can guarantee you it's not going to be your last time here. Welcome to the BitLab Academy Daily Show. My name is Kelly Kellum, and I'm here to bring you meaningful tools, content, resources, and of course, a positive community where we can ride this motherfucking dragon to the top. And it all takes a little bit of courage, some skill, and a community that can keep you on the right side of this. So let's dive in. We got some things that we got to discuss today. There's also a glitch on TradingView. TradingView fumble tanks Bitcoin 4%. Now, was it because of this fumble on TradingView with a glitch in how they're presenting, and it's already cleared up, a glitch in how they're presenting the Bitcoin dominance? Maybe. But also, you know, people like Jesse Olson and Matthew Hyland and Kevin Svensson and Crypto Burb and other pro traders out there will also tell you this was kind of telegraphing a little weakness in the bullish momentum. We had a strong bullish move here, a smaller one here. Now it's starting to kind of angle over, and now look at this. Now we're kind of getting a new low followed by a new lower high in this very small time range. And we've talked about this time and time again on this channel. If you are new here, I just want to highlight something. Patterns repeat on all time frames in crypto. What do you see right here? This was the top, and I am not suggesting we're at a top. I'm talking about just the price right here. Large momentum, smaller momentum, smaller momentum. In fact, if you look at this, it actually looks like sort of dominoes falling over, right? And not only that, you have low, higher low, higher low, higher low, lower low, followed by a lower high, and then you got the breakdown. Now, this is on the 3-day chart, looking at the macro setup of what the last top was. I do not think we are anywhere near a top, but when we're looking at the pattern structure, and we look at this on the 4-hour here, we have a similar sort of setup. It's not as clean, but we have a move, a little bit smaller move. It's kind of, look, it's kind of leaning over just like we talked about. And now we get all of a sudden a lower low followed by a lower high. Is this signaling that we're getting the move down into this liquidity zone on the BitLab trading stack? We can see here the BitLab volume shows 2 order blocks directly below us. This shows that in the order books at these prices, a huge amount of large orders, not retail, a huge amount of large orders came in and jumped into the order books right here, basically identifying that this was a liquidity interest area. Look where this bounced. Look where this wick bounced. Now, look, we haven't even tapped back into it. If we do, and this does not hold, I do think we're coming to 85 and a potential, either a destructive for the people that are over leveraged, wick down into the zone, or even the work way all the way down here to 77. Because remember, we still have, where is it at? We still have that gap that is down here on the CME futures from 78 to 80,720. That would represent coming into the zone, very likely clearing and flushing out that zone that would come all the way back down to here. If that happens, now the setup is there and anybody that's paying attention can see it. So that also presents the opportunity to convince bears to commit themselves in that direction, only to have it reverse. I personally don't think, I think there's a lower probability that we come down and I'll hit this all the way, but I do still think right now we're kind of on a knife's edge. If we lose this area, 95.1, if we lose this area, the last line in the sand is about 92.5. And after that, I do think we will be coming down into this region, but there's bullishness beyond that. So this was an explainer for why it may have happened. Well, the chart was also showing it, but then we also see right here, just 2 to 3 years ago, news of whales accumulating would send shockwaves through the market. This is the story of where we're at right now. So if you're bearish at all, you are not paying attention, because at the end of the day, we're seeing new whales accumulating long moves, and they're doing it all the way through this entire zone that we're at. They've been accumulating and increasing their accumulation at certain points where we're at here in this $80,000 to $100,000 range. Institutions, the domino effect, the MicroStrategy playbook, the new fair value accounting rules that just changed December 15th. All of this lining up for what is, I think, going to be an absolutely incredible 2025. Now, continuing on, what do we see? Whales, this is what I was just talking about, are accumulating Bitcoin through privacy transactions. So, I mean, how much? Beyond disclosed holdings, we still don't know who has accumulated approximately 240 to 420,000 Bitcoin, not dollars. 240,000 to 420,000 Bitcoin whales stacking in, and look at where they're doing it in this region right in here. I think we have so much higher to go. Let the market do the work with a little bit of a washout if it comes. And that's why I talked about on that short that I did this morning, that these are opportunities. The fact that we have this blessing that Bitcoin did not just run away at $100,000. If you were bullish going up to $100,000 and we're seeing this small correction, which is par for the course for every bull cycle we've ever been in, and you're not excited about this, holy moly, what are you looking at? So let's talk about it. Bitcoin Realist says, yo, brother Kelly, solid analysis. Thank you very much. Bad Fox, Brian Armstrong, not the CEO. I see you in here as well. I saw Cade from the Wolf 3 financial team. Big D, we got so many people in here. Big love to everybody. If you are here, roll call it. I want to see you type in the live chat, whether you're watching on Twitter, whether you're watching here on YouTube. I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. We got a lot more to talk about. So let's look at the charts. One of our boys right here, Kevin Svensson, Bitcoin, this time is different. Are you sure? Let's take a look. 2021 all-time high breakout. Boom. This is where he's talking about right here. Local top. Okay. Boom. We got that local top. Pull back to 50-day EMA, boom, right here. And then boom, launch. It's like you jumped off the tree onto the springboard, pow. And what are we seeing again? Breakout of all-time high, a new local high, comes down. This basically just tested the 50-day moving average, have not broken it yet. And this is still in play for a potential bounce from this region, even if it dropped back down to roughly about $89,000 to $90,000. This is very bullish. We want to see where the bulls come in and defend the area. You cannot expect just these moves. This is bullish, but what's more bullish is this move with this basically rising accumulation, and then it basically the breakdown. Oh my God, it's over. To have this basically test where the bulls come in and defend a key moving average like this. Hey, Kelly, preach. Where did it say? Where did I lost you? Hey, Kelly, preach the good news of the bulls coming. The bulls are coming, but in order for the bulls to come and run the marathon, we know they are. They got to stop and feed. Sometimes they got to stop and take a dump. Sometimes they got to stop and get massaged with sake. If you want to have some Wagyu or that Kobe beef, you got to make sure that these cows are rested. These bulls are rested. So let's let them rest a little bit and basically take these platforms to basically make the next leg up. And then we see, what do we got? Caleb, our boy Caleb Franzen says right here, the bears are bearish. The bulls are bullish. Who gives a shit what your bias is? I'm whatever the chart tells me. That's what I've been trying to share with you all. When these moves are getting excited and I say, hey, let's look at this target down here. People say, what are you talking about? And then the next day or 2 days later, sometimes a week later, that price gets flushed down into that zone because I'm looking at the data and I'm aware of my bias, but sometimes you have to say, okay, here's my bias. I want it to go up. It's so much more exciting when it goes up. But it's even more exciting when you can see where the strategy is identifying a move to the downside. You're aware of it and you can stack into that. So when you do get that bullish move to the upside, you have more stacks. So you actually get better profits. Let's celebrate these sort of softening periods when it's not just running away, because when it gets going, every single one of us is going to be upset that we don't have more. We're talking about the TradingView glitch. I just talked about it about 3 minutes ago. Now, continuing on, and for the past 18 months, that's been one thing. What? Stay bullish. We're in a bullish trend right now, very strong bullish trend. Nothing about last week's decline made me change my mind because we're looking at the data and what's going on. Now, continuing on, everybody wants to know what's the deal with the altcoins. And by the way, everybody stay with us here. We're going to go through a couple of these things. We're going to be doing some TA on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on many of your favorite alts. We're going to be diving into this. So again, if this is your first time here, because I know we're getting a lot of new people coming into the space, my name's Kelly Kellum, and I do appreciate you being here with us in the BitLab. And again, also thank you to all of our channel partners. CoinW, the link to join our free traders group is down below in the description. If you're watching on Twitter, it's in the first comment there. NordVPN.com/BitLab. If you want to protect yourself here navigating the internet, identity theft, banking fraud, all that, get yourself a VPN, NordVPN.com/BitLab. You get 4 extra free months. It's like $2 or $3 a month. It's really, honestly, asinine if you don't have yourself a VPN. And then, of course, our channel partners, Arculus. Make sure you're protecting your crypto. Make sure you're protecting your future. GetArculus.com. Use code BitLab, BITLAB20, BitLab20 for 20% off your Arculus. Now, and it's my favorite crypto cold storage solution, One Tap. Now, diving in here, I do think this is what's coming next. All of you altcoin holders, the dominance. This is what that glitch that they were just talking about a second ago. I think I already deleted it. The dominance. If this carries any sort of similarity to what we've seen in the last 2 cycles, the breakdown of this trend line, the basically rise here into confirming the breakdown, if this does start to really meaningfully start to reverse and come down, this is where that life-changing money in the altcoins is made. Now, I wish all of us could just be way more risk averse and just hold Bitcoin because it's the best. Well, let's be honest. All of us are a bit degen and we want to capture some of this amazing growth that we can get in the altcoin market. And it's all going to come when this dominance starts to really break down. That's when we're going to be seeing the alts absolutely skyrocket. We've seen a lot of growth. For those that were able to buy Bitcoin, look at this. This is much more zoomed in on the 4-hour. If we come out here to the 3-day, double click here. This is that trend line. Zoom out here. Boom. This is that trend line. Look, comes up, perfectly tested, starting to reject. If this pushes back into this will mean that prices may still be doing okay for altcoins, but this is going to be suggesting that Bitcoin will be at basically the safer hold of this. If this does start breaking down, that is when we get this guy right here, this alt season. When we come down here on the 4-hour, we even have another signal here, a bit of a rising wedge, breakdown, rejection. It's trying, but we are coming in. We are at the end of the year, holiday time frame. There's a lot of money's not on the table right now because people aren't at their desks. They're trading. They're with family. They're friends. They're not paying attention. And it's also a little bit of the tax harvesting season. I do think, regardless of what happens between now and I would say about January 4th or 5th, I would look at with a little bit of hesitation that it could be a false move meant to trigger sort of liquidity grabs in both directions. I do think we need to pay attention to that. But coming back, I do think that this is what's in store. Now, continuing on, we also see that Ethereum is about to explode in Q1. It always does this after that. We just had the halving year, right? This year, April. So after Christmas, coming into this next year, what do we see? Plus 31%, plus 48%, plus 214%. This was January, February, March 2017. 2021, plus 78%, plus 8%, plus 34% in January, February, March in 2021. So are we just waiting on Q1 to start? Shake off the rest of the fiscal nonsense, bull, tax and budgeting. I do think. And remember, we have a whole basically crypto friendly administration coming in. So will it be up until the end of January that happens or now? There's no telling, which is why it's better. Time in the market is better than timing the market. So right now I've been sharing that altcoin portfolio with y'all for the last many months. This has moved up to 160 and it came right back down to 100. Remember, we started this in February, doing great. Even with a bit of the sell-off, we're getting, still up 40%. We're doing really well. This is down a bit right now, but that's okay. I might stack some more into it. 3% up, 45% up. But this, I'm not trading this. This is just the coins that we're holding as a position. This is a low stress portfolio. You pick your plays, you ride them, you make some small adjustments along the way, but we're waiting on the altcoin season to really kick off. And I do think a big part of that's going to be when Ethereum really starts to make a move because it has been coiling up. And then we see, what do we got? Where's the golden window here? 140-day golden window for altcoins. Bitcoin dominance topped out in November. The same 618 fib rejected the dominance. Usually takes about 20 weeks to reach the bottom. We're currently in week 5 out of 20. So basically we have about 15 weeks or 100 days to drop the Bitcoin dominance. During this period, I'm expecting an aggressive Bitcoin dominance meltdown. Why does this matter? He's talking about, essentially, he's timed the market about where this kind of reverted up to. The bounce, boom, up to the golden pocket, boom, up to the golden pocket. And it was basically this, look, this kind of start, little mini season, major season. Are we going to see a little mini season here into beginning of Q1, the beginning of Q2 time period, maybe a little bit more rise and then the follow through it the rest of the year? Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. But this is when we look at this 20 bars drop down, 20 bars drop, 20 bars. Would this be something that we're looking for? And what did I tell you? I didn't even seen this metric, this measurement from this individual. Was it a month or two ago? I was talking about sometime into March, beginning of April, likely sort of early market cycle top that actually is just corrective. And then we get the full market cycle top towards Q3, Q4 of next year. Why is that? Because when we look at the Bitcoin, look at 2013, look at this large run up. Oh my God, it's over. It was just a dip buying opportunity till it full slingshot. Now on the 2015 into 2017 cycle here, we had 11 moves of 15% or more to the downside. I think 8 of them were 26% to 40% to the downside. So this was a bit different shape than we saw here. If I had to guess, I think we're going to see a combination of these two cycles here where we're going to get one pretty big run up, a pretty decent size sell off that's going to really shock the market, maybe consolidate a bit through the summer, and then major sort of explosion towards the end of the year. But the question's going to be, this is why markets are so exciting. There's no guarantee. What's going to happen with all this legislation that's been proposed? What's going to happen with all this legislation that's been proposed by this incoming administration? How quick does it get through Congress? Are there executive orders? How quick do other nations, if we're going to do a national Bitcoin strategic reserve, how quick do other nations jump on that bandwagon and also do their own, sovereign Bitcoin reserves? When does Apple and Amazon and Walmart and you know what I mean? When do all these major players get involved? Will they even get involved this cycle? All these things are going to can completely change the impact of how this market unfolds, which is why you need to be understanding. Sometimes it's just about figuring out what you want to stack into for the majority of your portfolio. Trading a 4 to 12%, somewhere a manageable size of your portfolio so you don't make an error that wrecks your entire future. I remember I lost $70,000, $80,000 in one trade several years back, and it was the best loss I ever took. It sucked, but it was needed because that was my tuition for being a jackass and being too greedy. That's what we all need to learn. That's one of the reasons why I do this channel, is because I want to prevent many of you from stepping in the stupid potholes all of us do. But hey, if we learn, if we turn off our ego, we say, no, I'm not different. Because you took 10 spot trades in a row and now you go leverage trade, you think no, you're not. You're going to give all your money right back. We need to make sure we're doing it smart because we don't know how this is going to play out. All we can do is basically previous cycles as an analog for what may happen. Again, the word is may. So when we look at this, is this going to happen? I have quite a bit of alts. I hope so. But, I also have a balanced portfolio with the Bitcoin and all the other stuff. But continuing on, the biggest alt season will start in 2 weeks, says this one. In 2021, after a 14% drop in Bitcoin, altcoins exploded. In the last cycle, I was about to transform my 1K. I was able to transform my 1K into 330,000 within a few weeks. Here's a powerful list of who cares about what the list is, but this is what we're looking at. They basically reset. This is also very similar to what we saw with the Kevin Svensson pattern from last cycle as well. The reset, 90 days, the run up, reset. And now look at this. We got the run up. We got the reset. Is this going to continue up? I don't know. We're going to have to see. Now, this is also looking at the altcoin index. I'm guessing this is probably the others chart or something like that. But we are seeing a bit of a corrective move right now. Let's see how this plays out and what comes. I do think, and notice how he also had last cycle, 245X, here, 115. There's probably going to be, in some cases, there's going to be a lot of these crypto that you're excited. You saw where price went last time, and it's going to go, it's not going to do the same X. There's going to be a small handful of coins that you hold that will do a similar X than they did last cycle. The majority of them, especially if they're larger, if they're anywhere legacy at all, a lot of them might do about the same, but a lot of them are going to do less. If they did 25, 30X last cycle, maybe it'll do 17 or 12X, in some cases 7. There's going to be some popcorning throughout regarding which narrative actually takes hold and it's the zeitgeist of the crypto narrative, because we have AI, we have crypto gaming, we have DePIN, we have the smart contracts, we have real world asset tokenization, and these narratives are going to kind of be running sometimes at the same time, but a lot of times the liquidity is going to shift to this narrative and the liquidity is going to shift. So we've got to make sure that we're structuring our portfolio also, understanding that. So if the AI is running and you're looking at your gaming tokens, you're like, why aren't they running? And then you move after the AI moved, and then you sit there and now your gaming tokens run and you just moved all the AI and the AI is in a correction. That's where people really jack themselves up in this market. Figure out how you're diversifying your portfolio, realize they're going to run at different times, and then take profits when those various, rotate some profits out when particular narratives run. They have a good move, take some profits out, put it into dry powder. And then if it corrects, you can actually add to that position. D-size, another one, Miguel Serrano. Now coming back into what we're talking about, let's go ahead and look at some of the data. What's going on? We got to do some TA. Shout out to everybody that is here. Again, anybody that is a BitLab member here on YouTube, or on the Discord or on the Signals Lab. Remember, especially if you're here on YouTube, we are doing these morning TA sessions, kicking them back into gear now that I'm not hanging just with family on the holiday. But there was one this morning. Just go in your membership tab. You should see it. And those of you that aren't BitLab members here on YouTube or any of the other spots, make sure you have your notifications turned on, because sometimes I come over here and yours might say community. Sometimes I post the members streams in this community tab. If your notifications are on, you'll see it. I like to share it with just the general public sometimes too, just to give you guys some love and appreciate you all being here. Now, let's go over to what we're looking at. Greed is actually back to about the 55. So it got pretty damn high. We're sitting here right about neutral, which is great. Now, when we zoom in on the heat maps here on FOMO.io, we're kind of, I don't want to say trapped, but we have liquidity both above and below us. And look at this range that we've been kind of just trading in sideways here. This is on the 12-hour chart. Are we going to tap up into this 96.7? If we do, are we able to continue, or is this going to grab this bull trap, come down, flush this out, potentially even drop further? We just need to be aware that there's liquidity, pretty evenly split liquidity on both sides of us. Hold on, let's actually go to the 24-hour. There we go. Yeah, you see this? Boom, boom, boom. So we need to be a little careful with where we're at right now. Now, when we look at Bitcoin, guys, a bit of a shoulder, bit of a head, bit of a shoulder. We talked about that. If we do lose this, I'm watching for a move to 92.4. And again, if this basically final line in the sand for the bulls in this move in the immediate future, I'm not saying for the top of the market. I'm talking about where's it going between now and Tuesday. If this is lost, I do think we're going to come down and flush out this area down here, which would actually end up being very bullish looking forward. Thank you, Black Ice. He said Turbo TA has been awesome. Yeah, try to get 5 to 12-minute videos in the morning going through what the look is for the day. But I think with Bitcoin sitting here, it's kind of like a neutral risk. Everybody's excited, but the risk of actually just throwing money in the market is actually coming out, because here's the signal. You see the price was running up. We had a falling broadening wedge. We talked about this a few days ago, several days ago. We talked about the break to the upside. We got the break to the upside. Everybody goes Santa rally, and everybody just apes in and they think it's just going to continue. But what do you see here? What do you see? This is exciting. Great. What the hell does the data say? Okay, price up. Remember, the price doesn't freaking matter when you're trading. The price is a metric it's one ingredient that you weigh against other data points. So the price is up, but look at this, the money flow right here. The money flow is going negative and expanding. You see this? Money flow negative, expanding, while the price was pushing up. This screams suckers rally. And then what do we get? Large momentum, tiny momentum, M formation. Can't even clear 100,000. That was telling you, boom. And if you wanted the very small time frame signal, all you had to do is draw a trend line just like this, boom. And then on the loss, and look at that. Look at that beauty. Oops, where'd it go? Look at that beauty. It breaks. It tried to come back up. It couldn't. So boom, that would have been your signal. Boom. If you're doing small time frame trading, just taking a very quick scalp trade, that would have been a great short signal. Or if you took a long, a great exit point, if you hadn't gotten out yet. But now I want you to notice something on the BitLab trading stack. Look at the price. It's trying to do something because we got the weekly VWAP right here, my favorite signal on the BitLab trading stack. But look at this bullish signal right here. All this heavy selling. Why do I know heavy selling? Purple candles. You notice how the candles change color on the BitLab trading stack. This shows that there was a ton of selling, like just overwhelming, like almost like manipulation. Ton of dropping of in the order book selling. And then we get this bullish signal right here. A little attempt and then a drop right here. I want you to notice something. And then what do we get? 4 bullish divergences printed here on the BitLab trading stack. And then what do we get? Another attempt, boom, held. And then we got that move up. So it showed you that bullishness was brewing. We got a little bit more signal here with bullish divergences. And we also had the momentum wave. See the triangle starting to rotate over. We still have negative money flow, but it's starting to inch back towards this zero line. This is on the 24-minute, however. But we are seeing we're back above the weekly VWAP, but still on a little bit larger time frame. We can see that the price is, look at this, on the 4-hour, the trend signal line right here is currently trying to make a decision. Yes, it's above the weekly VWAP, but it hadn't even broken through the trend signal line right now. So even on a move, just to put it in perspective, measure from the top to the bottom, it would have to push all the way to 96.9, basically 97,000, just to hit the 382. The price would need to come all the way up here to 98.2, which could still have a very reasonable, everybody's excited with this. But this is the point at which most often you get reversals for it to come back down. So we need to hesitate a little bit on the movements in the market right now, because I do think there's going to be some traps set between now and the very end of the year, because there's not as much liquidity participating in the market. Now, when we look at Ethereum, and I want you to notice, look at these patterns right here. I'm just going to go through a bunch of coins. See, just watch this. Ethereum, see this pattern? Boom, boom, like basically an Adam and Eve that failed. Now let's look. Same pattern. This is ETH to Bitcoin. Look at this. XRP, kind of the same pattern, a little bit more ugly, a little bit more bearish. Avalanche, same pattern. Boom, boom, round. Look at this. Boom, boom, round. Boom, boom. Everything is kind of on the same risk narrative right now. ONDOA giving us some pretty damn good prices now, dropping below 150, $1.50. It's all the way down here, $1.46. But where is it tapping? Right in this green order block right now. Is this going to go a little bit lower? It's very likely. But coming back to ETH, look at this. We broke out of the weekly VWAP, this yellow line that we're seeing right here, and we came right back down below it. So false move, come right back down below it. Negative money flow. I think we're leaning on this sort of risk confusion narrative at the moment. Okay. Now, if Ethereum does sort of continue a march a little bit lower, what I'm watching is if we lose this order block that we're right in the middle of, and what am I talking about? See this green block? I didn't put that on there. The BitLab trading stack automatically shows you where that liquidity interest came in. And it was right here and breaking through this trend signal line. A lot of orders came in and then look, found support on it. Boom. Now we're coming right back in the middle. If we lose this, the next target that we're looking at is coming back right back down here into this zone, basically 3250 down to basically 3250 to 3200. If we lose this zone, I do think price is coming to 3,000. And ultimately, I think if that happens, we're actually going to be coming down here to 2,800. Now, does that upset you? Ask yourself, Kelly, why are you telling me that targets could be lower? Does it upset you? We just talked about the incredible bullish structure that's coming in Q1. Anything with price going down with where it is right now, any of these targets that are lower, we need to be celebrating this because very soon, before we can realize it, Ethereum's going to be 9,000, 11,000. And we're going to be like, why the hell was I mad that this came down to 3,000 or came back down to 2,800? This is opportunity to the maximus. Okay. We need to be aware of that. Then you got Cardano also, falling channel here, which is ultimately a fairly bullish structure. But with this falling channel, meaning these tend to break bullish, but with the falling channel, this could come back down to this basically 79 cents. This could come all the way back down here into this, the upper 60s, and it'd still be within this pattern. In fact, we have an order block down here where maybe that's going to end up being the support region for this to work its way down to. Does that upset you? If you like Cardano, you should say, wait, because like Mark Yusko says, financial markets, trading, investing, stocks, crypto. It's one of the only businesses in the world where if you believe in a project, you've done due diligence, you like Chainlink, you like Cardano, you really believe in it, and you're planning to hold it to where somewhere in years from now or the market cycle top, then why do people run out of the store when things go on sale? We are having an opportunity right now to continue to layer into the projects that matter to us, to take advantage of prices while it's creating opportunity, because we have a pretty good idea. We don't know exactly, but we have a pretty good idea of what's to come. So why are we frustrated that some of these projects that we love are going on sale? Guys, if this is able to hold here, great. That does not upset me at all. I'm not either right or wrong on this. If this is able to kind of hold this area in this zone, great. Maybe break out from here. But as it stands right now, we do have the stochastics kind of rounding out. The RSI is looking like it's trying to make a little bit of a move. The money flow is still negative though. VWAP is still under the zero line. It's trying to angle up, but it's not really giving clear signal. But the price is below the weekly VWAP, which is right here. And it's also below the trend signal line right here. If this does push up, I would guess a little bit of a bounce here would be probably a rejection under about 89 cents. I think there's a little bit more work to do. And then we come back to ONDOA. Look at that. Look at this perfect reversal. Look at this. Boom, down. But on this, we talked about this forming last week. Giant head and shoulder here. Are we going to get, let me know what you guys think in the live chat. Are we going to get a price target? Look at that. Comes right down to this order block zone. Back to $1. Are we going to get ONDOA at $1, $1.03? What do you guys think? This would make me super happy because I've got some contract work that I did that I'll be getting some extra capital at the second week of January. I hope so, because this is where I'd love to be picking up some ONDOA. I think ONDOA is going to be one of the biggest players this cycle, especially with a lot of their partnerships and stuff. But I mean, look at the BitLab trading stack called this reversal and then supported this with the bearish divergences down. We had the washout, but then we got the reversals. This basically potential reversal signal back up. And we got four bullish divergences right here. And then 3 more right here. Just telling you this has been calling it right on. This has 7 bullish divergences. Fake out there. None of the other stuff agreed. So we need to be a little cautious right now with what's happening in this market. Chainlink also look same kind of, if this kind of breaks down into this zone, $21, we may be getting a bigger washout. But I do want to caution you on something. I'm going to undo something I just said. We're just talking about ONDOA. This is such a clear signal. What was I talking about over the last 2 months? We're in such a bullish part of the market that I do think there's people that see these and go, okay, I'm going to buy it at the target down here. The problem with this is so clear that I do, it's ripe for people just getting jacked up and, basically fake outs happening, meaning price potentially comes down. Everybody's like, oh yeah, it's going down. Yes. And then it just comes up and rockets like that, basically completely convinces you that you're going to have a bearish movement. You get the start of it. People convince themselves and then it just negates that entirely. So this is kind of a frustrating part of the market to trade until we get that clear signal of the run. Kronos also is having pretty damn strong movement up here. So look at this, very strong movement. We talked about this weakness that was coming in here. And look at this. We have these higher lows, lower low, lower high. Look at that, lower low, lower high. I do think we're going to come to at least 13 cents, more likely to come down here into the 10 to 11 cent range where the order block is right here and the 382 fib that we have right in this zone. So that's what I think. If this is able to hold here, maybe bounce on the golden pocket, we still need to push back up and take out this order block that's directly above us at about the 16 to 17 cent range. And I do want to say, everybody, shout out to everybody that was with me yesterday. We still got a little bit more to go, but I do want to say shout out to everybody. I did something different. I set up my DJ rig because for those of you who don't know, I toured for 15, 17 years as a house music DJ. I ran one of the biggest sound camps at Burning Man for 12 years. So every once in a while I decided to play some music, and it was Christmas yesterday. So I hooked up and I multi-streamed on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, and did like a 3-hour DJ set, just vibing, daytime vibes. So there's a lot of you that tuned in, and we had over 1,000 people on YouTube and about 700 on Twitter. So big love to everybody that tuned in. And I couldn't talk because I couldn't do the mic and the DJ rig. Shout out to those of you that super chatted. I do appreciate it. I did see it all. Thank you very much. That stream's still there, everybody. If you want to see it, it's just over on the BitLab Academy page. It's right here. It's me playing in the kitchen. About, almost 3 hours. I only stopped because I got a copyright strike towards the end, right about when I cut off. So I decided to end it there. But continuing on, we got to look at Near Protocol also. Near is one of my favorite plays for this cycle. Where is it at? Why is it so far down? Near, here we go. Boom. Look at this. Beautifully telegraphed. It was breaking down. This is what we just saw on ONDOA, the setup. Giant head and shoulders. And then what do we get? Giant head and shoulders on this. Let's go back to the neckline, measure this out, and look where the price went. Boom, right to that target. Is this done? Well, we're going to have to see how that pans out because we still have negative money flow. The market is just doing everything to commit people long, to then get people committed short. It is doing every bit of work it can to shake people out of this market. Do not get shaken out. If this does drop, I'm watching for a good opportunity about 466, potential last, I don't want to say last, but opportunity down here about 433. It gets interesting though if we lose that, because this is a pretty big trend line if the page loads. Come on, baby. I believe in you. There we go. If this is lost, I do think we're going to be coming quite a bit lower down in here, but that's if we get a pretty big drop in the broader market as a whole. And I think that would also be reflected in the stock market. So it's not a problem with crypto. It's just what markets do sometimes. But I do think this will likely hold in this region if it does drop into here. But then directly above us, we have the 657 sort of region that we're watching, which is also just short of this golden pocket before we do have a continuation move to the upside. Tau, BitTensor. Why is my computer going so damn slow? I believe in you. Come on, we got 1 gigabit internet speed. It doesn't ever give you that. All right. There we go. So this is just trading. Look at this. Range trading low, breaks out, range trading high, right on the sort of neckline, above the neckline of that. But if this is lost, I'd be watching for a move down to basically right about right here, option J, where this bounced, where this rejected, boom, boom. If we cannot hold 416, 400 to 416, this range right here, I do think price is going to come test the 348. And if that's lost, then we're coming back down to 275, which would suck if you're not prepared. But if you're prepared, you can take advantage of it, baby. If we're able to hold this range, then the next level up is this point of control, 542. And then all this work above us and these two double order blocks right in here, the 582 sort of range. And also, yeah, I mean, this sort of range is going to be very important. And once we clear that, then maybe we'll start to get that nice movement to the upside. Render, look at that. I don't know why this is going so damn slow. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and reload the page. There we go. Oh, that's not render. I was going to say that looks a lot like ONDOA. Render. Okay, let's look at it. A lot of lines on the chart. Came right up into the golden pocket. Look at this. Flushed through it to the 786. Came back down. Rejected at it. And look at this. Beautiful. This is kind of like we saw on ONDOA that hadn't played out yet. Got the move to the downside. Coming back up into this, kind of flipping this to resistance. So what we're watching right now is really directly below us. $7. If we lose that, I do think we're probably going to be coming down to about 639. And then the next level down is going to be about 568. Negative money flow. The stochastics are rounding out. I'm hoping this is just a little bit of a fake out. Maybe things chop sideways through the end of the year, over the next 4 or 5 days. But we really want to see render get back above the 796 to 822 region, this zone right here. And then the next real level up we're watching is $9 and then 991, which is represented by this range low and then this golden pocket that's directly above us. But everything's exciting right now, guys. The market is doing everything it can to chop us out. But when we go back and we look at the data, when we realize that the market is setting up for what will more likely than not be an epic Q1 into an epic year just in general. But, coming back over, I don't know where that went. Where did that go? I just tried to load something up. There it is. Just remember, when we're looking at Bitcoin, it's going to be the arbiter of the risk coming into the market. This is what we saw in 2021. It came down, supported, look, bounce, W formation, then launch. We just came down into this. So also be wary when we're looking at Bitcoin. One of the things that we may see, if we come back out to the daily, let's go ahead and delete this Fibonacci. Look at this. We got the move down. We got the move up. Are we going to get a move back down into the zone, potential move up, and then the launch? This would be representative. Let's see, 4 days. That's enough time to kind of fulfill that pattern if it happens. We do have positive money flow on the daily, but this VWAP does show that maybe there's going to be a little bit more trouble here in the coming days. And it makes sense because we got the holiday right now. Let's be calm. Let's do everything we need. I do want to say, guys, we did not go back above $100,000. So remember, the deal is still live right here, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. Type in that entire amount. I'm going to type it in the thing, https://lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. You get 15 days free. And then it's like 35% off or something. I think it's about 35% off for the life of your account. That gets you in our Discord where there's just continuous nonstop signals, breakdowns, member streams, all this. And if you want to upgrade when you're doing this on the deal, there's an opportunity to upgrade where you get the indicators, the whole indicator package, and all 120 lessons where it's on-chain data, candles, candle patterns, signals, indicate like how to put this all together. It's basically everything that you can really navigate this market. And this deal, again, once we go back above $100,000, we take that, we turn off this link again. But if you're locked in before that, you get to keep that deal. So shout out to everybody. Again, it's lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. It's a great way to help support the channel. If you want to just do it a little bit easier, you're welcome to join us in, where is it at? You're welcome to join us right here. If you go down below the video, right here where it says join to become a member of the BitLab YouTube, I will click on that and I will put this in the live chat. It's about $1.25 a week and you get access. I just put it in the live chat there. And if you're watching on Twitter, head over to the BitLab Academy page and just open up the video and it's directly below right here. And if you want to become a BitLab member on the YouTube, it's right here. Join to become a BitLab member on YouTube. See that? It's about $1.25 a week. You get access to all the member streams and, you know, the cool emojis. Everybody that is a member here throughout this last year, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a part of the family. I see a lot of y'all's, the beaker next to your names. The longer you're a member, it fills up. See, a lot of you have blue, which means you've been months and months a member. Everybody drop some BitLab member emojis in here. Show some love. And with that, I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all of the love, the super chats, the memberships, everything that we've had throughout the year. I just want to make sure we got the redirect set up. I'm going to shoot you over to the blockchain basement. Big love to everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day. Adios, muchachos. Oh, yeah.